All right. Normal line is a line that is perpendicular to the tangent at the given point. Example 5. Can you help me read what that is? Anthony, help me read example 5.
For y equals x squared minus 3x minus 1 at the point x equals 0, A is what is the curve, B is an equation of the tangent, and C of an equation of the moment. D, then draw a graph of the curve, tangent line, and normal line in the square, viewing the curve.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, let's find the slope of the curve at the given point. By the way, what is the given point? 0. X equals 0. How do I find y for that? Plug it in. So f of 0 is, what's f of 0, please, Aiden?
-1.
Perfect. Okay. Well, you only have 1 point. How are you supposed to find a slope? We need to use our formula. There you go. Limits as h approaches 0. Tell me the rest, Marco. What do we write for our formula?
X plus h minus f of x.
F of
X plus h
x plus h
minus f of x
minus f of x
over h.
over h. Very good. So our x value for this question is what? 0. Okay. So we're going to row limits as h approaches 0 of f over, well, 0 plus h is just what? 0 plus h. H is h, so can I just stick an h in there? Okay. Minus, do we know right now what f of x is? Did we find it already? What was it? That's right, it's right here. X was 0, so f of 0 is -1. So minus a -1 all over h. How do we find f of h? Can you tell me, Lucian, how to find f of h?
Well, we ran the limits as h equals 0, so
I haven't found this yet. I need to find what that was. What do we do with that? Right. Would you guys agree? So it's going to be what? H squared. What else? Minus 3h minus 1. 2 negative of the 1 is, can I write a plus 1? All over h. What happened to our 1s? It is. So limits as h approaches 0. I have h squared minus 3h all over h. What are you going to do now? Factor out an h. So that means you're left with an h minus 3 all over h. Can I cancel my h? Yep. So now how do we find the limit as h approaches 0? What do? Plug in 0. 0 minus 3 is? -3. So that is our slope. We have a slope. Do we have other stuff, enough stuff, to find an equation of the tangent, Lauren? What do we need? A point. Do we have a point? Yeah. What was our point? 0, -1. Do we have a slope? Yep. Our slope is -3. So y minus y1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. Well, here we go. Y minus the -1, so can I just write plus 1? Equals, the slope is -3 times x minus 0. Can I just write an x? So that's going to end up with y equals -3x minus 1. How do you write an equation of the normal now that we have a tangent? Do you guys remember the slope has to be opposite and reciprocal? All right, so what is our slope for the normal? 1 over 3. Because it has to be opposite, so the opposite of a negative is a positive. And then you flip that, so it's 1/3. And do the same thing. I'll give you a minute to give me the normal line. Once you guys have your equation, check with one another, okay? Because I need to shuffle your cards. You still have the same point. Yeah, you still have to use the same point. Once you're done with the normal line, I need you to check your answer with everybody in the group. So when you're called upon, I can totally move up.
No, sorry, the other way.
Oh.
Scroll down. My bad.
I'm sorry. Sophia, what's the normal line that you have?
Y equals 1 third x minus 1.
Is that okay? Yeah, okay. D, we need to graph all three of those things. We're going to start with the curve. Let me copy the curve again down here so I can see. Y is, what was Y? X squared minus 3x minus 1. Okay, so there's the curve. Let's graph that curve. As you know right now, most likely you're not going to have a calculator on your exam. How do you graph it by hand? Let's start with the vertex is negative b divided by 2a. So that tells me, what do we plug in? Mr. Ross, what's on the numerator?
Negative 3 or 3.
3 divided by 2 times the a value is 1. So right now the x coordinate of the vertex is 3 over 2. How do we get, Trey, the y coordinate of a vertex? Yep, let's plug it in. Here we go. 3 over 2 square minus 3 times 3 over 2 minus 1. 3 over 2 square is what, Alex?
3 over 2.
Square.
Oh.
Is it square space?
No, square is a square.
Well, it's 9 over 4.
9 over 4. Oh, right here. Sorry. That right here. 9 over 4, good. 3, so this is minus 3 times 3 over 2. Amy Z, 3 times 3 over 2. Good. I'm going to change that minus 1 into a 4 over 4. Are you guys okay with that? I'm also going to change a 9 over 2 to something over 4. What am I thinking about? 18 over 4. All right, add it all up. Final fraction. What is the y coordinate? Amanda? 9 minus 18, I'm sorry, is negative 9, right? Yeah. Negative 9 take away 4.
Oh, wait, I wrote it wrong. Sorry.
Negative 13 over 4. Okay, so there's my vertex. 3 over 2 comma negative 13 over 4. Okay, 3 over 2 is 1.5. So 1.5. Negative 13 over 4, 12 over 4 is 3. So a little bit below negative 3. Is that okay with everybody? Okay, a little bit below negative 3. You don't have to be exact. Then next, I'm going to pick 0 for the next point. When x is 0, what's y? Yeah, I love that. Then when x, I'm just going to reflect it. So also over here, it's the same y. True or false? All right, let's graph that out. So that's your curve. Next, we are going to graph our tangent. Can you teach me, Katie, how to graph the tangent line? Y equals negative 3x minus 1.
Well, the intercept is negative 1.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the same thing as 1. And then you just do, it's a negative line, so then you go up 3 and left 1.
1, 2, 3. Okay, good. Can I also go down 3, guys, and write 1? Yep. Okay. Draw a straight line. If you have a nice curve, it should only intersect your curve how many times? Once. But mine isn't all that awesome. It's okay. So that's my tangent. If your normal line is perfect, it should intersect that what? 1. Yeah. But how? Parallel, perpendicular? Perpendicular. So again, we're going to start at the y-intercept of -1, and then we'll go up 1, right 3, up 1, right 3, down 1, also left 3 will work. Okay. Does it look like it's somewhat perpendicular? Okay, that's your normal. It's not too bad, right? Can the normal intersect your curve more than once? Yeah, because it's not a tangent. Last concept. Here you go. Instantaneous rate of change. What's the word instant? What does that mean? Instant. Instant cup of noodles. Fast, right away, immediately, right? Okay. One of my students is going to bring me a bunch of instant cup of noodles. Okay, so instantaneous rate of change is the same as the rate of change at a single point, or at that instant of time. Okay. We already have the formula for the rate of change at a single point. What was that formula? So the limit as over. Right. Now, but because we're talking about time, I'm going to use t plus h minus, instead of f of x, I'm going to write f of t. It's still all over h, where t is time. So as you can see, the formula is the same. So you don't have to memorize an extra formula because there's no difference. Can you help me, Edison, read example 6?
At 2 seconds after the clock, the pilot velocity is 3 g squared. How fast is the rocket?
Perfect. What does it mean by 3t square feet? That's your height, right? And then what's the unit of measurement in here? Feet. Okay. Then it says, how fast is the rocket climbing after 10 seconds? So what's your t in this question? 10. Then I might as well find f of 10. Would you guys agree? Because I need that anyway. So how do we find f of 10? What do we do? Plug it in. So 3 times 10 square, which is 3 times 100, which is 300. Then I'm going to have to plug in my formula. Here we go. Limit as h approaches 0. F of, what's the t in here? 10. So 10 plus h. Minus, do we know what f of 10 is? Yeah, 300. You can go straight and put 300 if you want to, but because I'm doing notes for students that may not be here, then I'm going to write all that. Now, how do we find f of 10? I'm sorry, f of 10 plus h. Plug it in. So it's going to be 3 times the quantity of 10 plus h, and then close that up and then square. So be very cautious. Then I'm going to now put in 300 all over h. What do you do now? I'm going to write this, and then you tell me. Okay, I'm going to write this silently. 3 times 100 plus h squared minus 300. Am I doing good math? What did I do wrong?
Yeah, boil.
I didn't do it the right foiling. Okay, so don't do that. I would cry. Okay. All right, I'm going to foil out correctly. That's going to be 100 plus what? In the middle. 20h. And then now I can do h squared. And then we're going to subtract 300. Perfect. Then from there, we are going to distribute. That's 300 plus 60h. Is that okay? Plus, what else? 3h squared. Then drop down my 300, all of it over h. Can I get rid of the 300s? What else can I do after? Factor out an h, yep. So we are going to take out an h. I'm going to be left with 60 plus what? 3h all over h. So now those h will cancel. As the limit approaches 0, what's happening to my 3h? Yeah, can I substitute in and then the 3h goes away? That means I'm left with 60. Now this is asking, this is asking how fast. So what would you write as the unit of measurement? Feet per second. So make sure you add the correct unit of measurements in. Okay, that's the end.